Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the last So What You Hear of 2023. I'm Jay.
Tiff.
Great.
And we're here to run out the new year. So, well, I guess it's not a new year if you're running it out, but you know what I meant.
The old year.
The old year, we're getting rid of the old one.
Yeah.
Throwing out the old and coming with the new.
And speaking of
which, that was not on purpose. Russell Wilson got benched. And from what the conversation looks, he's getting cut after the season. That's funny. I didn't do that on purpose. This is wild. Anybody that's kind of wondering, like, the reason that he's being benched is because if he gets hurt before March, they have to pay him almost $40 million, like $37 million. And that injury clause keeps going. So if they don't cut him and they play him, no matter what his guarantee is, they have to add another $40 million if he gets hurt.
Okay.
Now the problem with that is, I give you that, but
they still got
they're paying him $39 million next year anyway, and they're paying him almost $50 million the year after that anyway.
So it's like what, almost 90? That's 90, almost $90 million in guarantees in dead money.
With no other real quarterback option.
You think there's somebody they're looking at in the draft?
That's the only thing I could think. But the only problem with that is they get like the 15th pick. Like, it's not a... If they were a top 10 pick, I could see, like, well, maybe we think we're going to get somebody young in the draft. But, like, who do you think is going to be available at 15?
Do they have anything to offer to get a better pick?
I think they got a first this year.
Remember, they traded most of the picks to get Russell Wilson and Sean Payton.
And, like, I don't think they're going to have the money. Because, like, maybe you could do, like, a Kirk Cousins who's a free agent. Kurt's going
to want a fully guaranteed.
But he's been doing 1 year at a time. It's not that hard to give him a fully guaranteed. Because it's fully guaranteed, what, $20 million one time?
And I don't think they're going to let Kirk... The Vikings are going to let him go now because
they can't find anybody to replace that.
They can't completely live without him. So it looked like they could, but now it doesn't.
I mean, the Bears don't seem like they want to move from Justin Fields anymore, so it's not even like you have the option of, like, I'll throw you another first-round pick for Justin. Like, oh, well.
Yeah, they're actually starting to climb.
Why would I do that? Yeah, like, I don't see it, like, and like I said, I'm going through every show, every analyst, every insider, like, is there a plan? Do they have... And everybody's rendition is like, I don't get what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I think this is the front office is like, all right, we're going to have faith in Sean Payton and see what he can get to come in. Because that's the only reason why I can see that they're okay with this.
And I don't even feel like it's Russell is the full blame for their losses. So, like, I think it's a team unit. I do. I think defense have let them down. Because they played...
Russell did give up 70 points to Miami.
But you know what?
The defense did.
What we see versus what goes on behind closed doors is a total different thing.
That's true.
There's something going
on. Kick his team out. Like, why does Russell Wilson rehab with Team 3 instead of the Broncos? Why is all of his PR stuff with Team 3 instead of the Broncos? Why do your teammates tell you that Denver and Seattle... Why do your teammates all say that they can't talk to you directly? They've got to talk. Dude, you're not Tom Cruise. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning didn't even do douchey crap like that. Like, so what are you doing?
And I think overall they might. I think they're just sour on him, and unfortunately,
and you're not playing well enough for me to want to overlook that.
But his numbers aren't bad, but but at this point, I also think it's coming from the front office as well. I think they've seen enough. It's not living up to the contract they promised him because they paid him all that money before he was on the field.
Yeah.
So
and nobody in this organization was part of that.
No,
nobody.
And that's
not even the same owners because usually it's like, well, no, nobody.
No, when the new owners came on, they had that contract. Remember, they came on and then they had Nathaniel Hackett, they hired Nathaniel Hackett, and then they got Russell Wilson traded all that and then paid all that money. That
was the last thing the owners before
that. No, that was the new ownership who did all this. So they got to own up to what they've done, and they're going to cut ties and keep it moving.
So, who do you think is willing to take him? You think
when he's cut, he's going to have to go out here.
He's going to have to cut that contract in half to go anywhere. Nobody's going to take him at that contract.
Hey, when they cut him though, he has signed a new contract, right? No one has to pick up his contract.
That's true. If you get cut, the contract's over.
Yeah, so like, there's nobody.
And that's guaranteed money, so he already paid.
That's true.
The Broncos are already on the foot for
Yeah.
Well, that's
so
very true.
He can go
That's
anywhere and
so
take less money.
He can take $3 million.
Yeah, it'd still be great. Like,
So what do you guys think?
honestly, I think he might go back to NFC.
you think come back? I would come back to NFC.
He can go to Washington. He can go to.
You go to Washington. They're going to be looking for a new quarterback. They're going to be.
They
looking
need
for
somebody that can run.
But they can't.
He
can't. He needs to go to a team that he doesn't have to worry about that offensive line again.
Like where? The bad teams.
Honestly,
don't have
you know
a
what?
line.
If no one wants to start Russ, he could be a cheap backup. You need somebody who could.
They're not gonna have. They don't have Russell Wilson sitting behind somebody.
It's the NFL.
The problem with it is, as soon as that guy loses, everybody's going to be like, "Less Russ Cook," and then
Like, they're
just
gonna be
start-
Russ could go
Russ-
back to the NFC West and go to Arizona.
I think they're staying with.
They
Cook.
stand with Murray. They like Murray.
Once again, guys, backup.
Well, if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, I'd
There's
say
too
the
much
Jets.
pressure on Murray to have Wilson behind. I'm sorry, it's too much pressure. As soon as they have a bad game, they're gonna be chanting Wills. You know how they do. And even if you do bad, it's too late. You just embarrassed your quarterback. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's too much.
The Raiders.
No.
Oh, because he did.
They know Kyle was terrible.
Yeah, but the
Pick her off the damn table.
Come here, baby. Come here. Come on, mama.
do you think?
Everybody say hi to Bella.
Come on, mama.
Bye, Bella.
He's coming back.
Do you think? I don't think. I mean, I can see him trying to be vindictive and come back against the Broncos. That'd be cool, but I think Antonio Pierce is going to want to get somebody else of his own. I do.
But then again, you're still in the same predicament of they're playing too well to really have a shot at any of these good quarterbacks in the draft.
Once
You
it
overpaid Garoppolo.
once it gets cut in March, we'll see. Because honestly, it's speculation until we know.
That's true.
And I don't think Russ will get picked up until after draft. So, and I don't think Russ will get cut in March. He probably won't get onto a team until OTAs, maybe July, something like that, or for training camp.
Yeah.
So we won't.
I heard he's getting cut in March.
Yeah, he
That's
gets
what he just said.
cut
Oh,
in
sorry,
March, and he won't get picked up until after.
Picked up.
OTA.
I missed
Yeah, he has
the
to
picked up
miss
part.
it. Yeah.
My bad. I missed the part of that.
I mean, it's what it is. He'll be sitting home.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just like the next topic, Jair Alexander.
Oh my God, sitting at home. I just, like I said, I watched Pat McAfee today, and him and J.J. Watt and all of them were talking about it. And when they're like, "You think this was worth a suspension?" They're all like, "Oh, a suspension's over the top. This is ridiculous." But then Pat flat out himself goes like, "I love this. I'm glad this is in the league. I'm glad he's not on my team." Well, if you're glad it's not on your team, then if you're sitting back watching a player from another team that's a good player and going, "Oh dear God, I'm glad we don't deal with that," then clearly this might have been
It might be
necessary.
a problem.
Let's be
they
real.
said they talked to him.
Let's be real. If we saw any of our teams, if we saw somebody on our team do this, we'd be like, "What the? What is this?"
And let's back up for a second.
Explain what
I'm
happened.
going to explain for anybody that might not know what happened. Against the Panthers this weekend, Jair Alexander decided that because he's from Charlotte, he was going to make himself a captain. So the team had 3 captains. He walked out there on his own. Then not only did he make himself a captain, when you have captains walk out together, they have a conversation about who is going to talk. No, not even about what they're going to do. Who's going to talk?
Yeah.
He ignored that and just said, "Oh, I'm going to talk." Then there's a conversation about what they're going to do. He didn't even know what the calls are. He just jumps out with, "We want the defense on the field." So nobody gave you the right, said it was okay for you to talk. Nobody even said it was okay for you to be out there. And you almost screwed up. Now, if you didn't do anything wrong and they suspend, you just went out there, tails. We want the ball. Okay, the game started. Then yes, I could see a suspension. I'd be like, that's a little necessary.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I get he wasn't supposed to be out there, but it's a coin toss.
Who cares? Yeah.
With what he said, because what he said is, we want the defense. Because of how he worded it, people don't realize you can give up your ability to get the ball in the first and second half. And what he said would have given the Panthers the ball at the beginning of the game and at the beginning of the second half. The ref had to look out for him.
Yeah.
Now, on top of all that,
I'm the interview.
he at the end of the game when basically, and it's another one of them. There are news guys that cover these teams that are trying to set these kids up. You can see where they're asking questions in situations where you're like, you are clearly trying to, call. Sorry about that, y'all. Cat problem. But back to what I was saying. So, like, you get reporters that, like, try to lead people or they say stuff or they take what they say and it's like, oh, well, I don't know. Things could, so you hate your team. These guys were clearly trying to help him, like, see, what you need to say here is, I got caught up on myself, I overstepped, and I messed up.
I mean, he had
shades on, leaning back.
Like, then they started laughing.
They laughing. I'm like, what y'all laughing about? Like, what do you mean, what are y'all laughing about? Fuck you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Dude, you almost cost your team 2 possessions.
Yeah.
And actually, they needed it because that game came down to the wire.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you being an undisciplined moron is why y'all can barely beat the Panthers.
They said they had a good talking to him, and they don't think that's going to happen again.
Well,
I'm like,
if it was that good of a talking,
also,
they would have to suspend him.
They didn't want to suspend him because
that's the good talking to.
Yeah.
Lost the game check.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I get it, like personality types and stuff's on, but I think we went from one standard where like if you do anything outside of what I know people of, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
And now like, I don't care how ignorant and just unprofessional you are, we're gonna laugh at it. Like, no, this shit, like a lot of teams are struggling because of this level of undisciplined ignorance. Like, it's undisciplined and it's moronic. You're an idiot. You almost blew a lot of stuff because you wanted to call the coin toss in your hometown. What are you, 5?
And even okay.
Or why not discuss the coach?
Yeah,
and be like, hey, I'm from Charlotte. Can I be a captain?
Yeah.
During Christmas, like this.
And they could have worked on what you say, how to say it. Like, we can do that.
Unless he had the conversation and the coach was like, no, I've already made my decision.
Well, he said that they didn't know. Well, I don't know if they know I'm from here. That's what he said. So I think he just did it. He was impulsive.
Oh, well, either way. But there's better ways to.
And he's way too good of a player for this. Because I've said a lot of negative stuff because of how stupid this move was.
Yeah, but
he's way too good of a player.
He's one of the best defensive players in the league.
And I think we're getting away from the fact that if you don't get here right, you can mess up your career. I mean, look over in the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, we see that in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, look over in the NBA. At this current moment, Zion Williamson, who's supposed to be one of the best players that should ever play, can't put down quarter pounders and is about to put himself out of the league. And everybody, because he's out of weight. He keeps getting injured because he's out of shape.
Yeah.
So that's why they have to be on him. You got to be more mentally disciplined.
Yeah. You just want to be on TV, huh?
She just will not go away.
Stop.
Anyway.
Speaking of cats.
So,
yeah, the Lions right now.
No, Pittsburgh Bengals.
The Bengals. We're talking about cats that
Look how I wrote it. That's what the L kind of went into.
Oh, yeah. It made the C look like an O.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Pittsburgh and Cincy. So,
what's cat?
One of Sanders.
The Bengals.
Yeah, the
I knew
Bengals.
that. I knew that. Shut up. I knew that. Okay.
But, Pittsburgh and Cincy.
I mean, Rudolph came in, did what he needed to do, and they won.
Was it a foggy night?
Look, Rudolph was, so bright.
Yeah.
He led that team.
Won't you guide the Steelers to a possible winning record?
Now,
I told you they have to count the Steelers out yet. And you know that hurt me
we
to say that.
We did say that they weren't going to win the game.
like they're done. Yeah. It's over.
Like,
somehow
that's what he do.
Yeah, but they still need to get one more win. So they play Seattle and the Ravens left. So we'll see.
Sometimes Steelers have the Ravens number. That's the thing.
They do, but
that's true.
They really do.
All of Lamar's worst games, like
They abuse him.
Career-wise,
They
is
really
against
do.
Pittsburgh.
They abuse him, and
Yeah.
you got it. If you keep hitting him, he will fold like a.
You keep hitting anybody. Like,
Well, no, Lamar. You hit him enough, he will fold like a chair. Like, let's put this away.
I think that's
quarterbacks out
it.
there can keep getting drilled and not fold.
When we taking out for Lamar, we've come a long way, have we not?
Well,
We will talk more about Lamar a little bit later.
My problem
beginning of all this. Oh my goodness, what has happened?
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, he's coming to Lamar's defense.
Well, because I'm not. That was never one of the things I've knocked him on. That's one of the things he does well.
What I'm saying is the Steelers tend to hit him more than other people.
Yeah.
And they get to him. They get in his head better than a lot of other teams.
Okay, I will give you that.
Yeah.
They take away his mental game. Yeah, they do very well.
Yes, I will give you that.
Do you guys think that with this win, does the perception of the Steelers change?
No, they need another win.
They need another win, even if they get in. I mean, do you really think Mason Rudolph is going to lead them? Because, again, this is a Pittsburgh Steelers team. This is 6 Super Bowls. If it's not a Super Bowl, they don't care.
I don't.
So, do you really think this is a shot for a Super Bowl?
With this too, though, this is a unit game.
That's true.
And I think if they can keep playing as a team, who knows? Like, that's the thing. They haven't really been playing.
I think their offense is too undisciplined.
Oh, that with them not having them losing an offensive coordinator, and their offense doesn't have an identity. I don't see them going anywhere besides if they do make it first round in and out. But other than that, just really doesn't change anything for me.
Because even like George Pickens had this huge game, but he had a huge game doing what we know he can do. It's kind of like the Travis Kelce conversation. There is another side. When the ball isn't coming to you, there's things you need to do, and he don't do that.
Yeah.
He's not just going to suddenly start doing it now.
Oh, yeah.
Because he thinks he goes out, makes an amazing catch, and he gets rid of all the rest of the things. Who cares if I don't block?
But can you
Who
help the
cares if I
other
don't
person
blitz?
score?
Exactly.
Like, he could.
That's how championship teams win.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that mentality. He's spoiled.
Yeah, it's not about you. It's about.
They don't have that team first go.
The defense has it. The offense does not have that team first mentality. It's a me first.
Because even this game was me first. He had something to prove. So now he's doing something he should have been doing seriously the whole year.
Okay, so why haven't you been getting over and doing it? When that Colts player made you look like a bum by picking the ball right out of your hands, where was all this superstar?
Yeah.
Where was it? Because it shows up when your feelings are hurt, but you still don't play as a complete player.
Yeah.
And we saw Jalen Warren, who was the guy he should have been blocking for, lay somebody out to get him a touchdown.
Because that's how
real teammates.
Yeah.
That I'm not even going to teammates because that gives you that like Barney. We need to. That's how winners act.
No, this is a team sport. That's what teammates do. You can't. I help you.
But it's more than just a moral victory thing. Champions have to do that because that's the only way you win. Well, is that extra effort.
I think
and if you're going to keep playing as a spoiled brat where unless it's something that's going to give me a stat and a highlight, you're going to lose.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Okay, that could be true. But,
what does this say about Cincinnati, though? Like, I
think this just says they're done like we thought they were when Joe Burrow went out. Like, I don't think there's really a need to talk. Like, there's no way that a backup quarterback is.
I mean, they didn't have Jamar Chase last week. He was out. They don't. If they don't have, like, they need their people. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so.
I mean, it's just what it is for them.
Okay. So.
Yeah, and so
Rams Saints.
And then moving on to the next little topic, that Rams Saints game. Them Rams is.
Yeah.
I remember I said look out for him earlier.
We said that offense is starting to
really impressed me.
Okay.
Even though they barely lost the ball.
I think it's.
They fried the Saints.
They pop up when they want to pop in. They go away.
Yeah. He's definitely come on. Cooper Kupp needs to sit because he's not well.
He's clearly not
right. Yeah.
Kyron Williams, their run game is what's saving them right now.
Yeah.
Because they have a run game going into the postseason. That's what gets you there. Their defense is doing enough. Matthew Stafford he's not making many mistakes. He's doing what he needs to. He's being a decent game manager right now.
Yeah.
So you really can't count them out. I would love to see who they're going to play and what their matchups are going to be, but don't be shocked if they beat a team you didn't think they could.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Don't be shocked.
Okay.
I'm impressed with the way they're going on. The Saints, I think the Saints just don't have enough pieces. I think the offense is in shambles.
Yeah.
They haven't, since Derek Carpenter, they haven't looked fluid. That offensive line's been shaky. Michael Thomas,
up and down.
Chris Olave is the only one who's doing anything really. I mean, they got Shaheed. He's doing okay, but they're not getting enough explosive plays from their playmakers to change the tides of games. Their defense is doing their best to keep them in games, but when it gets out of hand, they're not going down the field and putting big points on the board.
I feel like they're behind a lot. They gotta.
Yes, you're seeing garbage time points.
Yeah.
And that's the only time they have any kind of productivity.
Yeah.
Is garbage time.
So
because the Rams whooped them, and then they made it closer later, but it was more of a we beat you by so much we're not really trying because we wouldn't want to mess up.
Yeah.
And I think that loss just opened the door. I mean, well, I guess it shut the door on the Saints because Baker and them were already through. Because the Bucs went to Jacksonville and whooped their ass. Like, there ain't no other way to put it.
I mean, once again, didn't we say believe in Baker?
Believe in Baker. The team likes him.
I'm glad he's somewhere where he's able to flourish. But we've always known Baker to be a competitor.
Yeah.
So that I won't say he's competed everywhere he's gone, and he does the best with his ability what he has. Tampa has probably has the best receiving core he's had. Besides Nick Chubb, was it Rashid White? For Tampa Bay, but he's great out the backfield, receiving and running.
Yeah.
He's been healthy this year.
Yeah, and then their defense is their defense. Todd Bowles got a good defense.
Yeah.
So I think they're scary as well because Baker's about to be on track to have his best productive season as a pro. So, and I mean that, and also the NFC South is
not very good.
Not very good at all, but it doesn't matter. And even though with them 8-7, you've seen them. They dealt with some woes in the beginning, but they were always in every game they played this year. You saw them be competitive, other than maybe one or two blowouts. But it doesn't mean that there's
every team in the league has one or two blowouts.
Yeah. So what can we say?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thoroughly excited to see what this Bucs team does in the postseason. The NFC, I think, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, the NFC playoff games are going to be more exciting for me than the AFC.
Well, it makes you nervous though, because whenever the NFC goes up against the AFC, I feel like the AFC usually.
Whenever the NFC goes against Baltimore.
You think it's just Baltimore?
And pretty much everybody is because there's nobody in the NFC that can simulate Lamar. So teams even in the AFC that don't play Baltimore often get fried.
Okay.
But when you watch teams that play them more often, teams that have been beating them, Tennessee plays them real good. They play them a lot. They played them in the playoffs three times? Twice? Yeah. They play them a lot. So they know what the games. Pittsburgh,
even the Browns,
Cincinnati, and Cleveland, even when they're having real struggles,
they play
can
well.
do things against them because they've seen it. Yeah. But us in the NFC, we cannot simulate what Lamar does.
Okay. Yeah, he's 21 against the NFC.
That's what I'm saying.
But it gets a lot less than that when you start going AFC. Then you break down the AFC North, and there's been struggles in the AFC North.
So the NFC needs the AFC to get rid of Ravens before we.
Yeah, but
I'm setting it up. The AFC Championship is going to be Cleveland and Baltimore. Joe Flacco is going to beat Baltimore. Go to the Super Bowl. And play Baker Mayfield, who's going to beat him.
You think Tampa Bay's going all the way? I don't think Tampa Bay's.
Yep, that's what's happening.
Well,
but
also
anyway, with and that's
no. I'm about to say because we were going completely off topic.
Oh. Yeah, we are. We're just talking about random.
Yeah,
who's on the Jags? Right?
The Jags are next, but no, the Jags. The Jags have lost 4 straight. But the AFC South division is up for grabs.
Jags, I don't know what.
But no, the thing is, Trevor Lawrence keeps coming back from injury, but he's not healthy. And he's getting banged up even more. They are going to have a Blake Bortles on their hand by the end of the season if they're not careful.
Yeah,
because he hurt his ankle that one game, came back, was in a concussion the week before, beat concussion protocol, came back this week, and just got fucking bounced around.
He got hurt again this week.
Yeah, he got bounced around against the Bucs.
Yeah. So
the Jags it was their division to lose, and they're doing what they're losing. They're losing it.
Yeah.
So they basically got these last 2 games. They got to do it. They got at least win one. But if they don't, it is.
Their coach is Doug Peterson, ain't it?
Yep.
And you won the Super Bowl with Philly.
Yeah.
And it was terrible the next year. Until he got out. I wonder if his offense is easy to figure it out. And once the teams figure his offense out, they can't play.
Yeah.
Because that's just, I mean, there's two teams that were really, really good at one point, and then with no real change, suddenly just nothing they do works
Like
anymore.
you said, like I think a lot of
Remember they also had Christian Kirk's out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Zay Jones was out.
That's true.
They have insignificant injuries. So that everybody does know this time of year, but it's affecting them.
And some people
Yeah. So you see that how much they need those players to take the pressure off of all of it being on Trevor Lawrence.
That's true.
Because now he only has Evan Ingram, and then I don't even know who else he was throwing to.
Travis Etienne, Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, yeah, and then Travis Etienne out the backfield. But
yeah,
shoot,
I don't know. And I think the biggest problem is those guys in silver and black over there in Las Vegas, because that's their division, and don't know if people realize it. I'm pretty sure that I think they have the same record now.
Yeah.
no,
Are they a game behind?
I think the Chiefs are 9-6, right?
No, the Raiders and the Jags.
No, these are the Raiders.
Oh,
Yeah, the Raiders and the
Raiders
Jags.
are 7-8.
Silver and black in Vegas.
Who are you asking about? And the Jags?
Jags are 8-7.
Yeah, they're the same record.
No, Raiders are 7-8, and Jags are 8-7. But it's close. What's wrong? The Raiders are 7-8.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That's right.
yeah. I mean, but
I think
close,
the Raiders got to win out to make a push, right?
Yeah.
But they could win out.
And Chiefs are just doing worse. The Chiefs keep losing, and I'm like,
Raiders. Oh, we are talking about silver and black, so we can go right.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
get
They did
that's why
play.
you said that.
I get it now. But no, but the biggest thing between that game is the Raiders, those 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
That defense came out smack, and because they don't have any offensive explosiveness, when the Chiefs got down, usually we're used to seeing the Chiefs being able to come back from a hole.
It's here.
Well, it's mental. They don't have They are like Patrick Mahomes.
The mistakes they're making, like even Kelsey, they're all making these awful mistakes. They're still in their head.
And you see it on the sideline.
Do nothing.
You
Got
see
9 fantasy points. He can't do anything.
Yeah.
You need to leave that little girl alone and focus. I'm serious. You need to focus, okay?
Look, all I know is
football. You can have a love life after football. You got how many weeks? 18. What's that mean?
2 more weeks in the regular season, but then
I need you to. He needs to focus. They look bad as a unit. I'm sorry.
You see the fracture on the sideline.
So mental.
You see the team
They're fighting with each other. They're like, even Mahomes started. He's not yelling at refs anymore. He's starting to yell at teammates.
Yeah.
It's starting to get and that's
some fronts, I think
worse.
I think it's too late. I think he tried to play good Mr. Teammate. I'm gonna blame everybody else because I want to keep my team's morale up. But how about stop trying to call plays and block, Jeff? Champions yell at their teammates when they're screwing up. Tom Brady flipped on them players when they didn't work.
Yeah.
Why are you waiting until week 16 to yell at your offensive line? They haven't blocked for you all year.
He probably didn't feel like he had to, but now they were winning. And you missed this block, but we won. All right, just do better, But now you're losing. These are L's.
Yeah, that's true.
You get what I'm saying? L's, they feel different. And now the tension, you're doing what you usually always do, but it's not working.
They lost 2 weeks in a row.
I believe so, didn't they?
How many losses have they had in a row?
Because it was all sides they lost. Then they lose the next week after that.
Let's see.
This might be 3.
No, they beat the Patriots, but they barely beat them. Remember, they almost beat them. They got beat by the Bills. They got beat by the Packers.
Okay. All right.
So they lost to the Packers. They lost to the Bills. They squeaked the Chiefs or the Patriots, and then they lose to the Raiders. So you might as well say they lost to the Patriots.
But they were struggling with the Patriots.
When you struggle with a team that bad, it's an L.
Yeah.
Shout out to Philly. When you struggle with a team that bad, it's an L. Y'all should consider that an L. You look like crap, and if the Giants were any good, y'all would have lost. But
they won and they lead the division.
And
that's fine. So you can go embarrass yourself in a bigger game in the playoffs.
I gotta say, you makes me wonder if they would have got rid of McDaniels earlier, what could have Antonio Pierce
done with this team?
Yeah, this team, because they're resilient. They play hard.
Yeah.
And this defense is probably one of the best defenses coming down to they are playing outstanding.
I mean, if he could have minimalized what they wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to do before he got hurt,
yeah,
because Aiden O'Connell's just not quite good enough.
No,
like maybe you could develop, maybe in all season, whatever. You don't really know with situations. I've seen guys get better like that, but
I don't think they're expecting him to play at all.
Yeah, I don't think he was supposed to play. I think he was supposed to be what he was, a backup in case some guys get hurt.
And here we are. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they thought this was going to be a Joe Flacco. We're going to pull some guy off the bench and suddenly he's going to play amazing. Like, no.
Yeah.
But
speaking of Joe Flacco, that's what happened where we're going.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
That's exactly where we're going. Because the Browns, I'm not even just going to say this thing. The Browns have been dominant.
10-5, yeah.
Like, their defense has been dominant all year. Their special teams is pretty good. And now with Joe Flacco averaging 300 yards a game,
and I think everybody's sleeping on them.
Yeah, they're still acting like, well, I mean, yeah, it's fun.
It's the Browns. I really think everyone's sleeping. I think they go into these games thinking they already won a little bit. Even as good as they are, I don't feel like they give them any type of respect. Because
people still think they're the Browns.
They don't show any respect. And then when you're like, oh,
and all of a sudden you look up, he's done through 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. So
and that's what he do. I stand here, I fling it.
And they have a good enough running game and everything else that they don't need him to. He was picking people apart. It wasn't just the long ball this time.
Amari
Cooper and then Njoku. Those two, he's loving those two.
Dallas, what is happening? Amari,
when he was getting tackled.
Oh, when he threw it to Amari
quarterback.
Yeah, and Amari
hit his favorite nutcracker impersonation, and oh my god, that was incredible.
Oh my goodness!
He was just.
It was beautiful.
Dealing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I've always had a special place for the Browns because they're I always call them the little train that could. They're always trying to get up that hill.
You're trying to go 3 or 4 episodes back when I told you
I think I can.
Joe Flacco's going to do it.
I think they can.
I do agree with you. I do agree with your sentiment about them playing the Ravens in the AFC Championship.
Yeah. Well, just seeing how physical Baltimore got with San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then we've seen that Cleveland clearly. I mean, they almost beat them with DTR.
Yeah.
No, Cleveland beat the Niners.
No. Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cleveland did beat the Niners.
Yes. With DTR.
With DTR.
Uh-huh.
They almost beat the Ravens with DTR. And now you're going from what? He was averaging 150, maybe 200 yards to 300 yards a game. A touchdown, maybe 2 if he's having a great game, too. No, he's going to put at least 3 up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd be saying these things, but yeah.
Yeah.
But and they're so physical. I was watching the game this weekend.
Remember the Browns and the Ravens split this year. They beat the Ravens at the same time this year. The played.
Did.
They're so physical. They just. Oh my goodness!
I really don't think people are putting this together.
I think they're sleeping. I really do think they're big, which is good for them. I think it's good. You want people to sleep on you. You want to pop up and everybody
Well, this is the team to be scared of.
I think that's a good thing. I think for them that's a good thing for people that are aware.
I want the Browns to be in the Super Bowl.
I mean, people have been pointing out for the season, man, Browns and the Jets, if they just could get offense, nobody could beat them. They're so good, and the fact that they're barely losing with an offenses that aren't working, well, the Browns fixed that.
I found somebody coming off their couch.
Flacco, oh my goodness,
Joseph
that's crazy.
Flacco.
I thought he was done. I didn't think he was going to be.
You think he's riding a bike to Cleveland? He's got a car now.
I think he is. And it's snow. Is it snow in Cleveland?
Yeah, look at that lake snow. It snows in Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be riding a bike.
Yeah, it snows in Cleveland.
No, I wouldn't.
But
going to the other side of that division, and probably their biggest, honestly, who I'm going to consider probably their biggest competition for the playoffs, period, is Baltimore, who just had an insane game.
Beat up on our best NFC
against
team.
the Niners.
Yeah.
the Niners looked like the Niners looked like the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, Purdy.
They didn't even look good.
4 interceptions.
I'm sorry, they're like the Panthers. They got beat.
He had 4 picks.
4 picks. 4 picks.
And
But was it Trent Williams was on that sideline.
And that's, I think people are, because everybody, Purdy, oh man, as soon as his skill,
I think
Purdy, that offense doesn't fall off when a skill position goes down. That offense falls off when Trent Williams goes down. Because I'm talking about more than just Purdy.
He helps their run game.
Garoppolo played like garbage when Trent Williams wasn't in. Everybody they have come in will play good. Trent Williams gets hurt, and they're trash.
Yeah.
And I just think that nobody really wants to give, an offensive lineman that kind of props.
But if he deserves
he pulls for him. He schemes for him. And he's the best tackle, one of the best tackles that's ever played.
Yeah. I think those 3 losses because he wasn't there to protect Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this loss hurt Purdy's MVP, but I think it just basically almost solidified Lamar.
Yeah.
I mean, you pretty much have him play against the team that has all of the other real MVP candidates.
The only thing that's going to really hurt Lamar is the one thing that always hurt Lamar. It's the playoffs.
Yeah. But now the playoffs don't count towards MVP.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
It's a regular season award.
That is
So
true.
So there's dudes that have been bouncing. But Lamar was bouncing the first round and still won MVP.
That's very true.
So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think, but also to not go crazy, the Ravens have secured a playoff position, but they have not outright won the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Remember, they say if they lose out the next 2 weeks.
I think they're safe though because
Cleveland can win the number 1 seed.
Oh, that's true. They are because that's the closest.
Well,
record.
I don't think that's the other thing. I don't think people realize that Cleveland
Dolphins are
has
11-4. Dolphins are 11-4. So yeah. So
Cleveland has one of the best records in the.
We're
In
10-5, right?
they're 10-5, but Dolphins are 11.
Dolphins are 11-4, but again, you got to see what they're doing.
Are the Ravens.
These last 2 games matter for AFC.
Everybody.
Yeah. So
I think, and that's going to hurt other teams like Pittsburgh, who is hoping that the Ravens don't have to play that hard in the first. Well, no, I need this because everybody's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing for a bye, and for a quarterback who has byes don't even help Lamar. I don't.
Because they lose their fluidity when that bye hurts teams who need this constantly.
Yeah, I think Lamar. I don't think the bye.
That break hurts teams like that because they are more so they play off of like being able to play and gelling. If you give them that too much of a break, we've seen how many times come in a bye and get fucking beat.
I mean, Romo, he went to Vegas, baby, and then, embarrassed. So, sometimes it's best to win the old-fashioned way.
Let's talk about the somebody I'm happy also for this week.
Kings of the North.
The Lions.
The Lions.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Round of applause.
I'm going to give you all that.
They've been through a lot.
They won their first NFC North crown because the last time, the one time they lost the division, the one division was NFC Central. So they've never won the NFC North since they've been a part of it.
They didn't exist the last time they won their division.
There was NFC Central.
30 years ago?
It was NFC Central.
There was no NFC North.
It was Central.
That's sad.
Yeah, so this is their first ever NFC North.
You mean what? 30 years? That's sad. That's sad.
They were the Lions. I'm excited for them. I'm happy for them. I hope they do well.
I need them to lose this week.
Okay.
But other than that, that's fine. That is what I need. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, they can't really. You might win because they might be resting because they've kind of locked up what they're locking up.
They got a playoff berth. That's about it. And they got a home playoff game. This will be like their second playoff
game. If they win these last 2 games, it's not really going to help them.
I don't think
they can move up. So why would you even I guarantee they're going to start sitting people.
I don't know.
Because what are they? What are the Lions? They're 10-4, 10-5.
The Lions are 11-4. Yeah, they're not sitting anybody.
Yeah. Oh,
they can get a bye.
Shit. That's right. Because
Yeah, they can get a bye. They're not sitting anybody.
You're right.
So, like I said, I need Dallas to win.
Yeah.
So
the Philly, so the Niners. You know why? Because everybody was so sure that San Fran had everything locked up because they weren't expecting to get smashed by Baltimore.
San Fran's there. Yeah.
But
and now everybody, Dallas, everybody, Yeah. Eagles, 49ers, Lions 11-4, and then Dallas. So if Dallas can win, then they're 11-5, then the Lions will be 11-5.
Yeah.
And then they gotta see what's going on with
I
them.
think they're kind of shaky, but the same thing that could be the problem with the Bucks, or could be problem for people with the Bucks. The same thing. If you look at a lot of these really good teams, they're good. There's no scrappy. You get up on Philly, you can beat them.
You get up
You
on
get up on
Dallas.
Niners, you can beat them. You get up on Dallas, you can beat them. You get up on
Lions.
Kansas City.
The Lions like to sneak
The
back. They like to
Lions
sneak
will
back, but
fight and claw to the end. They
you
don't
know-
look grimy from beginning to end.
Yeah, but
Same
they'll
thing with the
still
Bucks.
lose. Like, I mean,
Not this year. That's how they got to 11-4. That's not happening
and
this
how
year.
they lost some of those fours is the other team got more momentum earlier than
Well, I
they
mean,
did.
that's how you lose.
Well,
but
that's what I'm
they-
saying. I mean, that's all.
I mean, they fought their way from down in a lot of games.
Naming teams with the same points, with the
And
same
I'm
record,
naming,
and you
yes,
don't want
and
to
I'm
give them
naming,
the same
but I'm
flaws.
naming teams that have every one of them teams have stats where when they get down going into the second half, they lose.
And I think
Except for Detroit.
Then when do they lose? Because
They'll lose sometimes when they're down. They've lost when they're up. They win when they're down. They win when they're up. They're a fighter team. It's gonna go down.
Dan
don't fight
Campbell does
them-
have them gritty.
If you don't fight them all the way to the last
they
second,
should beat that. What was it? Green Bay? What was it? The Thanksgiving game?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have
Yeah.
losses, but it's still
They
it's
got
not.
their ass beat.
They were still scrappily fighting.
Because when they come
You can
to a
see the
division
soul,
game,
and every other one of them quarterbacks die as soon as they get down.
their hardest problem is their own division. Because once they go to play their own division,
That is their biggest problem. They seem to
have-
be able to handle everybody else. Their
But-
division, the
Play
Ravens.
but I'm not gonna fight over that.
I guess that
I
makes
just
the
need
Ravens.
the Lions to win. I'm cheating.
Oh,
No,
there you go.
no, I get
She
you.
needs the Lions to win,
I'm
people.
a jinx, so that might be the best thing that happened to my babies.
That's true.
I am a jinx. Shut up.
Alright.
I don't like y'all.
Well, we gave them their flowers. I guess tonight
I no
the
longer.
next term is just to go ahead and talk about the Thursday night football game.
Y'all got me all
Jets Browns.
upset.
I got the Browns winning this game
I got the Browns.
easily.
I don't do
Easily.
I think it's gonna be like 20. I think it's gonna be like 28 to like 12.
Yeah.
Like the Jets are
The
gonna
Jets like to get it away sometimes. They really do. Like I 100% think the Browns are going to win. But the
You know
Jets
what?
like
The
to
Jets
beat,
are gonna get like a
they
pick
beat
six.
winning teams.
They're gonna get like a
like
pick
to
six,
be in
but-
the way.
He does throw picks.
He look like a pick. They gonna get
The
like a pick
Jets beat
six.
Philly. They beat Buffalo. They
Because the
beat
problem is
another
they-
winning team. What's
Like
the other
Sauce
winning
might be
team they
able to
beat?
cover Amari Cooper, but then Njoku is going to murder anybody else that tries to cover him.
Across the middle. Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But I got the Browns winning this game.
The Jets almost beat another. Like they just get in the way, so you can't completely count them out.
They almost beat Miami too. No, they got beat by Miami the second time. They'll beat them the first time.
You almost beat them the first time.
Yeah.
They beat the Bills the first time.
Yeah.
They beat the Texans. They beat on the Texans
Yeah,
30.
but wasn't that the game when C.J. Stroud went out?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All I'm
The
telling
first
you
game after he went out?
is the Jets like to beat.
People they shouldn't beat.
They
yeah.
shouldn't do. They shouldn't beat. Was my point.
Well, I mean,
So-
their defense has been keeping them in games this year.
I think the Browns are going to win, but I wouldn't sleep on the Jets. Is what I'm saying. They like to destroy. They're like flies. They're like getting on.
It's true. It's the Browns. I'm just
I
not
think
gonna
the
put-
Browns.
I'm
I
not
say the
going to-
Browns.
I'm not doing.
I'm bad at scores, so I'm not even going to pretend like
What you got?
Oh, I'm going like 33-13.
Oh, okay.
I'm awful with scores.
I said like 30 to 12.
33-13.
Or like 30 to 17, some odd score. Because the Jets have odd ass scores.
They do, and like I said,
It's like they got 17, 23,
36.
5.
Again, they get
Well,
points.
look at safeties.
Safety and field goal.
Yeah, like
Yeah, they do this.
Stats.
Yeah. I mean, the Ravens had this. At that game, I'm sorry, I went back to the Ravens for now. I really thought that was going to go the other way when they got that safety.
yeah.
That's my other thing about like the Ravens though. They are so like they beat the Rams with punt return. Beating this team, they'll beat this team with their offense. They beat this team with their defense.
They're winning across the board in different ways.
But the same token,
So
that's
we
what
all
Cleveland's
said
doing, too.
Browns.
Yeah.
We all
But
said
yeah.
Browns.
Yeah,
I
Okay.
think we're all saying Browns. You're not making the score as big as us, but
I'm awful. Which I cannot pick scores. Like I gotta work.
I
on
think the Browns will put up a 30
I
break.
can't even think of a
I still
fake
think
score.
Flacco will throw 3 touchdowns, probably 2 picks, but yeah. That's what he's been doing. He's been having like 3 touchdowns and 2 picks every game.
Me and Flacco to be.
It's not perfect, but he does enough to win.
And Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I think that's it, though.
I think that's about it.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
And we'll see you next New Year's.
Yeah, next New Year. Next time you'll see us, we'll be waiting for the
2024
College Football National Championship.
Oh yeah,
Michigan and whoever they're playing.
That's disrespectful.
What?
Go ahead.
No, this is disrespectful. What's disrespectful is the L we're going to give them for low tide.
Oh, Lord.
This will be low tide. Go blue.
You know, that's